Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Now let us go into the permission group. Again, when I go here back into the system, and when I go here, I can go again from the admin center, but there also you can find the managed permission group. If I go to permission group from here, when you go into the permission group, you can find the ID, the group name, the user type, static or dynamic. I will be at the member last point if I find. Most importantly, we will focus on the group name and this one, static or dynamic one. While creating the group or if the permission group, when we go and create a permission group, you can see there are two types where we can able to go and create. One is a static one and one is a dynamic one. What is a static one? When you are creating a group, before going into static and dynamic, let me go and take into any of the permission group how the permission group look like. Then we can go into the static and dynamic group. Again, I am going into system admin and going and searching system admin will be there as well. For an admin, we will be there. When I go into the super element, when you click on a create new or existing any of the permission group, when you click on it will take you into this page. This page is divided in two parts. One is definition and one is granted population. Definition. When you go and see, you can see the group name. Here we need to define the group name and here below that again there are two sections. One is choose group name and the second one is exclude these people from the group. Generally at second section we are using it very less as per our requirement. Mostly we will be focusing on the first section, that is the choose this group name. When you go into the choose this group name, once you have deleted a group, we need to add a member. When we have started the RBP, we have seen that RBP is divided into two parts, permission group and permission group right. And the permission group is again divided into two parts, that is granted population and the target population right. When you are defining the granted population, we have to define who are the granted population. Either it can be a specific role or it can be a group of members. Here, when you are creating a permission group, initially you are specifying the members here. How you will specify the member with the help of the people pool. When you go into the people pool, you can see here there are various ways of defining the members or adding members. When you go and see here, you can see here there are various categories. You can go with job title, you can go with the hire date, you can go with the location position. You can go with username. According to that, you can able to add the members. If you see here for the super element, they have taken as a username and this username has been added here. That is the reason. When you click on the update, the 15 members will be showing here. When you click on the 15 member, I can see the first name, last name, the job code and the location details will be. That is, if I hear these other members, they have taken on the basis of the username. If you want to add somebody into this group, you can click on here and you can see already these members are there. If you want to delete somebody, you can able to pick on delete here. If you want to add any member, you can able to specify the member here. You pick on here, you will show the member here and you can click on the checkbox which will give it the permission. It will be added and the permission will be granted it. It will include it in this member. Earlier it is 50, it will be further added to the 60. Either into the implementation or into the support, you have to do the same process. Whenever a new employee or a new team member is joining, if you need to give the permission to have all the access, there will be already some super element, and for that super element already you will be having the access and that super element group. We need to add that member who has been joined in our team. When you add that member, whatever the permission these existing users are having by default, those permissions will be given to the new member also. Mostly the focus is on the people pool. When you are creating a group and with the purpose of this, you can able to add the member. For adding the member, these are various ways. You can take the username. You can take the user location department division. These are the categories where you can able to. It will help us to fill the member and to add that member in the group. Any questions herein? It is clear. This process which you are adding something when you are creating now you are creating a group here by specifying the group name. And you are adding the member with the help of certain categories from the people pool. This type of creating the group is called no lesser dynamic group, whereas you are creating it manually. Once it is been created, this process is called a dynamic group, and once it is created, you can see here it will specify that this is a dynamic or static one. Whenever you go and click on the create new, and when you click on the create new, specifying the group name, adding the members with the help of certain categories, this process from create new, it is called lesser dynamic one. Static one is something where you are using this import static group where you will be downloading a blank template and that blank template will be filling all the information and choosing the file, and you will be importing it while letting an import in it. What is the difference between the static and dynamic? Is that once you create it with the help of create new, that is the dynamic one. In the future, if you are making some changes in the existing permission group, changes means you are adding a new member or you are replacing a new member. What you will do, you will click on here and you will go here and you can able to click on and you can able to add or replace it. This is possible with the help if you have done already in a dynamic mode. But in a static mode, if you are going and doing it, it will not get updated. If you have created some group with the help of a static one, then call changing and modification. Also, you have to download the template, update that is update that details in the CSV file and then import it. When you import it, then it will that where data will be replaced in the existing data which is already there in the system. 99%. If you go and see in the system the customer, it will be the dynamic one only because they always go with the create game. But we always also have an option of importing with the help of a CSV format. That is the thing, it is known as a static one. If you are going, it is import static view. Any questions here? Whenever, if you are an implementation side, if you are implementation content, and if you are going and creating the group. When you are going and implementing, when you are doing the implementation, what you call? And when you're gathering the requirement, when you're setting up the permission group and the permission rule. First of all, we need to go and create the permission group. The first step is to go and create the permission group. And the second step is to go and create the permission rule. This is the step which we need to follow. Let's go and create first of all our own permission group, and then we go and create a permission. Is it understood the concept of the pollution role and permission group, which I try to explain to you separately. When you go into the permission group, even here also suppose, and you go and take any of the permission group. While creating, we can able to go and see, but some permission groups. Let me delete it that it does not be any confusion. Let me go and take it here. We hear it new if I'm just going something and specifying a group name as this one is here. And I need to add a member. What I will do, I will open a user here to have understanding. And next I will go and take and I will go to all the knowledge and information. Here you can see the company business will be division. All this information. While creating it, I can directly in that type the username as Alex also. But let me show you how I will go in a very detailed process of creating the group. I will take the company name as 5100. Here do we have the company name because there are certain changes. Let's go and take the company name. I can see the company here. What the hell is that? I need to take some other category. There is a country in the outside. No, not the country, but the company name. How many? That is the thing. I will take a location here. What is the location here? This is the location. Let me search this location for PDS. And I will paste it here. Search for the location. I will push it here this month. I will push it on the location. Let me search here. Still location is function. If that is the thing, if it is not taking the location and the department, let me check if department is there or not. If I'm taking the department, department is there. Let me search for the department also. With code here. We can check the department. I will select it and I will click on done. And now I have to refresh it by clicking on update. How many members are showing? I'm giving these members as the group members for the leadership group and I will click on done. We can see the full active members are showing here. And I can go. And now when I go here, this is coming under definition. But granted permission goal, it is totally blank right now. Because I have not created any permission goal. What I will do now, I will already have a duplicate screen. I will go to the permission goal. And what I will do, I will do the year to Google by clicking on the near queue. And after that I will specify here also the same thing. Run as here are more investors. Maybe I should go. I will go now. I created the name and description. Click on the permission. When you people will go and do it while adding the member you add. The member which you have created from your own nose. Don't take the member which is already there in the system. In the permission group, when you add a member, suppose you are keeping a single member also, but that number should be created by your own. You have a more accuracy, and after that, when you go and create a permission role, when you come by taking on permission here, we have seen the three main categories. One is employee central effective data, then we have employee view, and also we have employee data. When you go into these employee central effective data and employee data, you have view and edit option. Yes, don't give the edit option. Only give the view option. You are giving the view option and finally mapping this permission to the member which is there in that particular group which you have created. Now we have a member. How many members are there? 4 members are there. When I will proxy to any of this 4 member and after the proxy into it, I will go into their account, right? After going into their account, now it is whose account? My account, right? It is my account. when I enter into their account, after I am taking into their account, when I search for any of the user while opening an employee profile, I should only see the view option, not the edit option. Because in the non-effective data portals for employee data, I have given the view option. This is one of the scenario. First, we need to check. How we need to check? Because see, if you're taking some data which is already there in the system, what will be? The consequence is that maybe that employee profile for which you are adding into the group, that employee profile will be also connected with some other permission. Although you are giving a view permission here, when you are testing, you will find that that user is also having edit permission. But I have only given the view permission. The reason is that because that user may be also connected with other permission rule. And that permission rule is also overlapping with your permission. That is the reason that when you're processing that user is also getting the edit option. Got it. That is the reason whenever you try from your end, make sure that you create your own profile. And I will also tell you other configuration tool in our BP that you will be clear that to check that this user is not connected with any of the other permission rules. How to check the permission laws, that trick also that configuration tool also I will share with you. Now, when you're creating a permission rule, you have selected something as a view permission here initially. And then further, I'm going here for employees and player left to later. And here also I'm going and giving the view permission. View permission or view history. But I'm not giving the edit permission. I'm not giving it. These two areas I'm giving it. And after that I will click on done. You can see whatever the permission which we have set up, those permissions will be showing here in the screen. This is the second step. Now, when you scroll down, it will take you into the third step. Can you see the third step? Grant this role to. Grant this role to specifies the granted population and the target population. For that, when you click on the Add of tab here, it will specify which role you want to grant this role. This is the granted population. Specify the target population. The ended population can be done either on the permission group or on the rules. Can you see the rules? Standard rules. If you are giving SAPHCM manager by default, it will be applicable to all managers. System will never distinguish or never define that it is HR manager finance for their manager. It will. System will only take SAPHCM manager only. If you have a permission, which we have created, go and select that permission. Search for that permission. I have created something as a best run as GR right. Leadership. Best. SSGR. Let me type and let me search it. You can see this one. Finally, what initially I am doing, I am creating a role, defining a role and mapping that role through that particular granted population with the help of adding the permission move or by the single loop. Here I am adding the group and pick on done. Now this part is completed. Now we always also have one more option. Allow their managers to have the same permission. We have a full members in this group. these 4 members, manager also should have the same permission which this user is having if that is also the scenario from the customer. We have this option and we can select level 1 or level 2. Level 1, level 2 means manager or manager. Manager got it. Suppose this members who are there in this group, we are giving this permission to these members, right, by mapping this best run as GR by selecting the permission group. Now we see the same permission. We need to give it to their managers also. Then we go and select this option, allow the managers to have. Now, when we are selecting the option here, system will ask you what is that level. Level 1 means managers, manager, right? Level 2 means managers, managers, manager, like that. One level up, it will go some. If that is the thing, we will go and select that particular level. If the scenario is coming from the customer, this option is there, but it is optional. If they are not coming with this option, we can ignore it and keep it very simple. Once the Ganted the population is being done, then for the target population, we have a 2 option, everyone or target user. Now these members have the permission called this permission, new permission, ready permission, whatever permission which we are giving. Now this user will access for which set of employees, all the employees who are there in this system or any target population. If any target population, then select the target population and select from here the particular department division location we can able to select from here. These 4 members will be specifically working on the employees' target population for that particular location, department, division. If that is the scenario, if you are selecting this radio button, if you are selecting everyone means this employee will have the access for all employees which is been hired in this system. Got it. These are the 2 things which we need to focus. Third one, it is not required. We can ignore it and click on done here. When you click on done here, you can see here, it will be showing here the group. And SFP has never defined any way that one rule will be connected to one group or one rule will be connected to one rule. One rule can be connected to many groups. Suppose I am creating this rule, that is this one, which one best run right. Where is the skull covering one what you see? This one. It is the rule right. It is a position rule which I am creating. This rule I am mapping to. It can be mapped to many groups, right? Now I have given the mapping only to one rule. I have given the mapping to one rule, that is this one, what you call it. Best run as Jiyadadashi. It can be also to other groups also. When you are defining a role, you are mapping that role to the groups. Finally, role are there in that group. They will be given the access which you are defining that particular role here. That is my point. In the real time. Also, you should be assured that if you are changing something in a particular role, before that you need to check that changes will be getting impacted to how many groups. But all groups are there. that the role is connected to which all groups. If you are changing some modification in the role by view permission or edit permission, you can see that is applicable to all the group members, which is mapped. We should be assured to take correct role while identifying what is the role we need to be. Now, after this, when we scroll down, we have an option and we can keep on the sale. I'm going to check the checkbox. For the you didn't check the code checkbox. It is not required. It is not required. You can see here the permission code. It is being created. And after that, when you go into the path group again, this was the role which is being created. And when you go into the group again, and when you click what that group and go to the Gantt, you can see for that group how many roles are there. That can also see from here also. Earlier, you can see for this particular group there was no. Now from the Gantt permission those, you can see how many roles are there. When you are a support consultant and when you are opening something from a permission group, we need to go and check how many roles are connected with that particular group. Any questions from both of you? Is it clear? The process, the concept. Understanding the process is important because if you understand the process, then you can able to set up the RVP or you can understand the RVP which is already being configured by the implementation. That is more important. This we have completed. This is the way how we can able to go and create the permission group and role and how to assign the permission goals to that group. This we have completed it and further. When you go into the admin center, as I told, there are high configuration tools, right? Let me go up. Here, when you go and see the permission goal is there under the set user permission. The permission goal is there. The manage all base permission is there. Then we also have this one a user permission. And then we have user the role search permission. Total under the RDP we have total 5 permissions. This 5 permission is a permission group position role manage permission will be accessed. We use a permission and then user roles as proportion. Initially we started with manage always permission access. And we have seen how we can able to go and view the permission, how we can able to go and view the access right. that we have seen before, that what we have seen how to enable this RVP from the provision right. Without enabling from the RVP from the provision, we cannot able to get the set user permission right. Yes, once you get it, then these options will not be there. We need to go and give the options for giving that option. We need to add the user with the help of manage all this permission access. Got it once you can. Once it is added, you can see permission group role. We will use a user role search. All will be showing them in that. All in the last session. We have seen we have used Unenlight. We have used Analyte. Now we have completed the managed permission group and the managed permission rule. This is something which we need to understand while analyzing the RVP. Or if you are for an implementation team, if you are creating the permission, if you are creating and setting the new permission. This part we have already seen right now, and now for the what are the type of tickets we can able to expect. The type of tickets we can able to expect is that we have some employees whose permission is who has the proper permission. But when they are going to a particular employee data, the permission is missing and they are asking to check with the system administrator or the IT administrator. That was something, the requirement which we can able to expect. How to analyze it, because we have around 4,000 employees, right? Or maybe more than that in our customer system. How to analyze it? What is the permission which is being given to which employee afterful? We should know what is the permission, then only we can able to go and analyze it. To understand the permission, how we will go in, we have an option that we have to raise. One is new user permission and another is user roles as permission. We will go with the first method first of all, and we will see the comparison. That before going into the employee profile, also you should know what all permission that employee profile is connected with. It is easy for you to analyze. For that, I will go into my system and I will go here, and the configuration tool which is using is new user permission. And this new user permission, you can find it in the admin center page also. This new user permission, we can find it in the admin center page also. I am doing it from the global server when you click on the view user permission. It will take us to this page, and now we know a user is having a problem, right? But we do not know that user is connected with. What is the group which is connected? What is the permission is folding? We do not know. To understand what is the permission which is folding, what is the group it is connected, for that what we need to do? We have to know the name of the permission group or the permission role. For that only we are using this particular tool, that is new user permission. How we will go and use it? Let us take somebody. Let us take somebody as if I am taking somebody as Alex, and let me see. and I'm searching for it. When I search for the name, I can find. First of all, the name is showing here. Now I will click on the view permission. Please let me know if the pop-up is reflecting on all. And you can see the pop-up. You cannot see the pop-up, right? Now what we have done, we went into views of permission, search for the template and click on it. We just selected the permission. We've got a pop-up and here you can see the permission is there and the permission goal. This permission list, from where it is coming? It is coming from the category. Suppose if I am going back into the system and if I go in the permission role and if I go into the system at a bit and open the system at a bit, once I open the system and then when you go into the permissions and under the user permission, you can see the categories. These are the categories which is populating there. There you can see general user permission. You can see general user permission, right? This one. The same thing here also, it is populating. You can see general user permission. Under the general user permission, if I go and get user login mask, creation group permission, live profile access. Again, if I go into general user permission, where it is when I scroll down. You can see masquerade profile will be live profile access, permission to create forms. All these subcategory permissions can you see under this category. The same permission. Here you can able to go and see live profile, permission to create modes. All these things you will be showing. And each permission which you are seeing the category for that permission. What is the permission role which is being defined? That name of the permission role will be also shown here. Can you see a system that has been MSS and you can go and click on from here? Also, it will redirect to the same permission role page. How many roles are there in each category where the permission is being given that we can able to analyze it? Finally, we have to see the name. We have to know the permission role name. Whatever the category, which is in general, use the permission report permission. When you go again into the report permission, for some time going here into the report permission. When I scroll down, you have where you can see report permission. In the report permission, you can see these are all the subcategories, right? There will be certain permission rules where for some permission rules, these permissions is not granted right. Some permission rule, some are granted right. To check for that particular user, when you go into the report permission, you can see detailed report, list report. All this thing for each subcategory permission. What is the permission rule which is being created that you can see the names here. Similarly, you have lot of permission categories which you can able to go and see here. This is coming from where? From the permission rule. Under that you have two permissions, right? Use the permission and administrative permission, which we have discussed. Under that we have lot of categories. There only we have seen mostly the important categories, right? Employee data, effective data, and employee view. But these are also the categories, but we have not seen it because these are only important when there is a requirement which is relevant to these categories. But otherwise, most importantly, from an employee data point of view, we will be looking on to all those three categories. When I go into the Control F and if I want to go to employee data, you can see employee data. Let us say this is the next way. Under this employee data, we can see view high grades, new high grades. We have a view function right for the ESS. Now, if it is a view, suppose if it is like it is another, when this user which I just opened, this user, when he is trying to open an amplifier profile, for that he is not having the edit permission for this particular field. Why he is not having the permission for that? We need to analyze it. That is the reason we went into the view user permission. And in the view is the permission. You observe that he is only set up with the view permission, not the edit permission. And what are the permission rows? ES and MSS, right, for the view permission. If we want to go off, if we want to cross check, we can able to go here and we can cancel it and we can search for ESS. We can scroll and search for ESS. You can see employee self-service, right? Then after this we need to, because we got the role link, that is employee self-service, right? And after this we can go to the permission, and under the permission, employee self-service, right? Employee self-service, right? And what was the field? Mu high grade. It is only Mu U higher grade. This is the Mu higher grade. Let me go here. Go to controller. I am. You can see here. Mu higher grade, only the Mu parameter. In this way, we need to go and investigate the requirement. What is the issue and analyze it, and then try to provide the solution that we are not doing any configuration changes. But why it is not happening? We are providing that this is the current setup. Because of that, it is not happening. Now you tell me we need to do the changes, or not. That we need to check with this one from the customer. But customer will create a ticket. And that ticket we need to analyze it. For analyzing, we need to go and see why that user is unable to access that particular field. But is the issue behind it? For that we have this configuration tool that is known as a new user permission. The purpose is that we are, first of all, we should know about the permission role links. For that is the reason we are going into the user permission. And from here we can see all the categories in place. You can see all the categories all together. These all categories are coming in a single place. In this way, we can able to analyze it. And then we can able to provide solution. This is one tool which we are using for you, user permission. The another tool which we are using. Is it clear for the new user permission? Same scenario. If I want to click for the another tool, that is, let me take user role search. User role search. When you are going with user role search, when I am clicking on user role search, now in the user role search, we have to select the user. There, also in the user permission, we have selected the user. Let's take another scenario where I am taking somebody. As I am taking somebody as an L. I am selecting the search here. You can see an L will be showing here. I will click on an L. And I will select it. The name will become. Right in user permission, all the permission category were showing in a single page. We were going and seeing control of, and we are selecting the category. That is employee data. We can able to select that particular category. Suppose if I am selecting employee data, you can see it will be showing. More defines. It is a more defined search there, that it is something which is coming overall. And here again, if I am going with view higher grades, and if you go and see, you can find whatever that role. Finally, we have to get this name of the. And we will select this role. We will enter into the role and we will try to set, search, check it. What is the permission, current permission which is being given? And this permission, we also need to compare it with the book. We also have a configuration world. 1. The book is something which is a document which is being done, created at that time of implementation. Whatever the requirements are, gathering that requirements will be captured and mentioned in the workbook. And that workbook will be signing up that workbook. And after signing up that workbook, we will be doing the setup of the configuration in the lower system, that is in the development system. In that book, everything is different. If you are a support consultant, the implementation team or the admin from the customer side, they will be sharing as the workbook also. That we can able to refer that workbook and we can refer the system. That whatever it is mentioned in the workbook, the same configuration, it is done in the system all. That we need to analyze it even for coming for any support ticket which is related to the RVP. Also, we need to refer the workbook. And then we need to refer the system. And in the future, if you are making any changes also, that changes also, we need to update it in the workbook. If you are making a changes, but if you are not updating in the workbook, means that is also wrong. Because you have made some changes in the system, but that changes we have not updated in the workbook. When you are making a changes in the workbook, would not do the changes in the original one. Oh, gel workbook is something that the implementation team has already done. We should create a copy of it, and after creating a copy, we should update the changes in the copy of the workbook. That is practice which we need, which we used to do in the real time. That the original one will be always there, which is the implementation team mode that created it. If you are tinkering the old one, we will never have a backup. That is the thing. Even the original one will be also always placed in the customer's location. That is the customer's drive. We can create a copy of it and we can keep it in our location, our company location. That whatever the changes which we are making, we can able to create a new version and update it. For my few of my customer, what we used to do, we follow this ticketing tool, that is GIDA. GIDA, we have a Confluence document. In the Confluence, we have created certain folders on a monthly basis. On a monthly basis, whatever the tickets which we are working on, we are doing some configuration changes. We need to update. This standard template will be there. We need to update in that template and we need to upload that template document on that monthly folder. In the future, if any changes has happened, they can refer those conference document also. This is the process which the company follows, and this is the way how we can able to go and analyze the what you call the RVP setup for any employee. When you get a ticket that both are admins, both are in different countries, but one employee, one admin can access the employee related data, but another admin is unable to access some section. What is the reason behind it? For that, we can go and start our analyzing with the help of a view user permission. Are the user roles such permission? These are the two methods. Including these methods, we have total 5 configuration tools. The 5 configuration tools out of that: managed permission role-based access, managed permission group, managed permission role view, user permission, and user roles for the user. Set user. All these things are coming on the set user permission. Suppose you are an admin and now in the future, to support your team, they have added a new member. Those members also should be having the equal permission with you are having. If you are SDM or if you are service delivery manager, if they will tell to you, that is provide them also the equal permission. You should know how and where. You should add that member that when they will go into the admin center under set user permission, they should have all the 4 tools. This should be reflecting there. And other thing, when we go to that permission, there is a checkbox called RB2. What is that? We can ignore it because we have that option, that is we are not using. In fact, SAPS came up with that option. Let me go. I think if you are referring something to select a group permission role, I think yes, permission role, permission. Because in the new release, in the previous to previous new release, this option has came. I think you have an option here RVP. You can see only indicate that there is only accessible for the RVP administrators. If you are selecting this checkbox, then it is only accessible by the RVP administrators. RVP administrators means the super rediments. If you have something that is a super rediment, this is also super rediment only can make changes for these steps. This also. The super rediment can only make the changes, but other than that the other. That means they can also go and see the RVP setups, right? But they cannot. But if they click on that particular role, they cannot able to open it. Because of them, it will be to these ones. Because they are not the super rediment. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.